Good morning. This is Jason Moss, Manufacturing News Network and the Georgia Manufacturing Alliance. Today is June 1st. I won't push it all the way to July. It's June 1st. It's the first of a brand new month. I'm really excited about having everybody on the call with us today. We got a lot of information that we're going to be going over. We're going to be talking about a lot of different subjects today. So if you hadn't got one yet, grab a pen and a piece of paper because you probably want to be taking notes on some of this. So it's going to be, again, we're going to be hopefully be able to be relatively interactive with the call today. So if you have questions, feel free to fire those out. But I will ask again, just as a record keeping thing, kind of help us out as we kick this call off. If you would go down to the chat section, if you go down to the bottom of the screen, just click on chat and add your name, your contact information. Because we want to make sure that we're able to reach back out to you and give you updates as these things become available. So fill out your name, company, email, phone. It'd be great. A little cheat that I use, I actually have a notepad with Windows notepad information. I keep on my desktop that's got key information that I can just quickly copy and paste. So if you hadn't done that with your contact information, it's probably a good idea to keep that readily available so you don't have to type it in every time, because I'm a little slow on the typing side. But okay, guys, so with that being said, we do have a lot of things we're going to go over today, and I want to circle back around to sometimes you have to back up and look at things to see where things started. Famous football coach. All your sports guys probably could help me out with this coach, but this quote. But the guy comes in and he said, "And this my man is a football, right? And so you need to get back to basics to figure out why we do things the way that we do. And today we're going to do a little bit of that. So today, the first of a brand new month, we are a little over a month in the after the lockdown has been eased in the state of Georgia. And so we're going to talk about a few things in that space, but I want to tell you why we've been doing this. So since the 1st of March, we've been hosting up till last week, a call pretty much every day, providing a variety of information on a wide range of topics as it relates to manufacturing. And we didn't do these just to fill time. You guys' time is very important. I honor every moment that you share with me, and I want to make sure that what we bring to the table is of value to you. And so again, I honor and appreciate your time, and I want to make sure that you get the most out of it. But I also want to make sure that you understand why we're doing these and what the focus is on these calls. So this specific call each Monday at 10 o'clock is a town hall call to give you guys updates on what's going on in the market, what's going on in the industry, what is it that we're doing, any changes over the week. We're going to talk about some wins and some losses and that sort of thing. Our mission, and guys, I want to get crystal clear. Our mission on this call is to help support and grow Georgia manufacturing, right? The reason that we're a for-profit entity and we don't get into the lobbying space and we don't get into politics is because there's folks that do that, and we want them to keep doing that, and that frees us up to serve the manufacturing community. I am fully committed to serving Georgia's manufacturing community as you should be. If you're part of the organization, if you're involved in this, it's important that you are part of the team that allows us to continue to grow. GMA happens to be the hub, in this conversation, and we provide a platform to allow industry leaders to get together and share best practices. I've reviewed some of these calls this weekend, and I have just been blown away with the amount of information and quality shares that you have done in the community. And being willing to, I'm just thrilled to have a community that is so willing to help support each other and other folks in the area, and being open to share what's working, share what's not working, guys. That's why we do what we do. We are here to help support and grow Georgia's manufacturing community. That being said, again, politics aside, we try to stay out of that. We also try to stay out of, we have this call, this town hall for updates, and we try to stay out of as much of the divisive stuff that's going on out in our community. There's some tough stuff, guys. We as a nation, we got some tough times ahead. We've had a one, pardon the language, but one hell of a week. This weekend has been brutal as a country. Now, if you've got a television or a radio or an internet, the stuff that's going on. I'm not going to rehash that. We're not going to get into that. That is not our space, right? I am so, my heart breaks for our country. I know that we're going to get through this. It's a shitty time, right? And we're going to figure out a way. But my commitment to you is to showcase what's going on and to share the best of humanity, the best of the community, the best of the business world, the best of manufacturing. Guys, that's what we can do. Now we can get bogged down. I'm a pretty even keel kind of guy, I feel, most of the time, and I try not to let stuff get beside me. It's kind of had an opportunity to. This past week, over this weekend, I found that personally I've been on edge. And I don't do that well. I try to figure out the sunny side. I try to figure out ways that we can make this thing happen. And I know that by working together, honestly, I had the team in this morning. I was like, man, I don't even know what I can share today. Right. I didn't know if I had it in me. And as sometimes you got to pull yourself up by the bootstraps, man. And that's where we're at right now. All of us as a community have to stick together and commit to finding the good, right? In what you're doing in your community. There's plenty of bad stuff. We've been bombarded with the news media, and again, I've been trying to limit myself to that because it can get me kind of wound up. So, but I do know we also have to face reality. There's going to be a protest in Lawrenceville, on the square in Lawrenceville tonight. And that directly impacts my business and impacts my community. So we have to address this, right? But we're not going to dwell on it. And in about 30 or 45 seconds, we're going to be done with this conversation, and we're going to be moving on to different stuff, because that's going to take care of itself. We're going to protect our manufacturers. We're going to talk about what's going on in the space, because this gives us an opportunity to do good together. And so that's what we got to focus on. So again, I want to just give you the foundation of I'm not oblivious to what's going on in the community, but I also want to let you know that we're going to affect change on what we can do. And I believe as business leaders, it is incumbent upon us to do what we can do to be successful in business, bring people back to work, get the economy roaring again. And we can, but we can't let this distract us completely and take us off point. We got to get focused. So right now, take a deep breath. I'm done preaching, right? So take a deep breath. I want you to know that I'm going to do my dead level best to make sure that I provide a platform, a nice, clean, crisp platform for us to talk about what's going on in your space in manufacturing. Does all that other stuff out there matter to me? Are we all impacted? Yes, but we can't dwell on that stuff. So that being said, pray for our nation, pray for our leaders, pray for the men and women that protect our country, our frontline responders, our police, guys, we gotta lift them up, and gotta empower them. But also understand you have a critical role in the rebuilding. It was like, going, fighting running a marathon and then having to do a 400-yard sprint at the end of it is what this week has really felt like. Right. So that is what we're dealing with, but this is a brand new month. we get to choose how we respond to that. We get to choose what we do in that space. So what we're doing at GMA is we are focused on trying to figure out ways, again, we can help support and grow you. If you have ideas, suggestions, or recommendations that we can do to make it better for you, please share, right? We're open. I don't know. There's no way we can implement every suggestion. And some of you guys have had some really great suggestions, and we're taking action on many of those suggestions based on your feedback, right? So again, we're open book. We're, open door. Share with us. Tell us what you see, what you think, and we're out to make it better for you. So, but I did want to share a couple interesting facts. So a couple things is, as I mentioned, we're a little bit after a month after our lockdown has eased, and our economy is opening slowly. So if you are, I don't know if you guys subscribe to the paper, either online or get the hard copy, but on Friday, there was a really great article that I happened to be quoted in AJC, and I would encourage you guys to take a look at it. I'll include a link to it in the show notes, but it's a month after lockdown ends, Georgia economy still reopening slowly. And so they took perspectives from people in all different types of business. And I think it was really, really well done article, even beyond my quotes, but just kidding. But, some of the things that they addressed was, based on surveys, that 70% of American workers surveyed are worried about making ends meet, based on a People Ready national survey, staffing survey. So people are concerned. We as leaders, the common thread that I have seen through this whole process is I've seen that leaders are talking about, the number one thing that helps them make the connections is when leaders say their biggest awareness of this whole process is the power of communication through their teams, communication in the community like we're doing, but also making sure that you got direct, clear communication with your teams about what's going on and how they're impacted. We need to maintain that and keep that piece going. So communication is critical. Let's keep that up as tight as we can. The other piece is, on a whole nother note, they did studies of, how restaurants are doing in different parts of the economy, but they said that the biggest jump in Georgia spending since the lockdown began is I'll open it up. I just gee whiz. I'll let you guys open your mic up if you want to take a guess at what that might be. The biggest jump in Georgia spending since the lockdown. What do you think it is? LD, what do you think it might be?
Home improvement.
Home improvement. That's a good one. Anybody else? Brian, what do you think?
Gosh, I would just be guessing. I'm sorry.
Just make it up.
I was gonna say, backyard entertainment.
Backyard entertainment. Nice.
Croquet sets.
I like how you're thinking. Michelle, what are you thinking? Okay. So again, the question is, what do you think Georgia's biggest spending, the biggest jump in Georgia spending since the lockdown has been?
Alcohol sales.
Technology.
Transportation.
Technology, alcohol sales, man. That's priceless. That's probably, Koki, I hope you're getting those. At my house.
Home technology, because that would be, schools, work, some of people's job is paying for it, but some people are self-employed, but they have to have technology for school, to homeschool their kids.
That's a good point. Ryan, what are you thinking, brother?
I don't know.
Toilet paper. I would say essentials and groceries has gone up since restaurant spending was down, right?
I got you. All right, Mr. Haddon, tell us, what are you thinking, brother?
If I knew that, I'd have a crystal ball.
I got you. That's already been done. It's spent. Russ, what do you think?
Hand sanitizer.
I love it. Russ, what are you thinking, bud? Did you say?
I was the one that said alcohol.
Okay. Well, I got you. So it was really Brian joined us on Friday at the Fun Friday here at the office. Brian, what do you think, bud?
Hey, I was thinking transportation,
Yep.
you know, just, I mean, we all know that the hand sanitizer,
Yep.
went up.
And just so you know, you're still this big on Zoom. But I know the real story.
You said I walked through the door, I kept on coming through.
Right. Yeah, he opened that door, that man just coming through the door. Like, damn, there's a big You guys will figure it out when you have the opportunity to meet Brian. Great guy. Coming by. All right, Jason Lamers, what do you think, man? What do you think the biggest spending increase since the lockdown has begun?
Since it's begun, or since?
Well, actually, it says the quote is the biggest jump in Georgia's spending since the lockdown has been in what would you say? What do you think people are spending it on?
I was gonna say personal grooming products if it's been since it started to ease.
Right.
More haircuts right now.
Right. Yeah. No doubt. Well, I will let you guys off the hook. So, and the title of this, so it might be a little bit off, but the title of the article is "Month After Lockdown Ends, Georgia Economy Still Reopening Slowly." So I don't know exactly where he pulled all his numbers from, but the biggest jump in Georgia spending since the lockdown has been in clothes, according to 5-Star, which tracks transactions on its software. Spending on apparel was up 25% for the week ending Memorial Day from the week before, and it's still 36% lower than it was a year ago. So it's still 36% lower. So why do you think? I don't know about you, but I ain't quite in my bikini weight for the beach. And I think that we might be getting new clothes, but I don't know that. Yeah, JT is, it's seared in JT's eyes now.
I think maybe there was a jump because people weren't going anywhere for the longest time. They didn't need new clothes. Now that things are opening up, all of a sudden they're like, hey, we've got a reason to go shopping.
Right. Or because all the alcohol sales, they might need a different size. I mean, I don't know about you.
Yeah, they got to get fat clothes.
Yeah, they're getting the next size up.
Did they say whether those were jeans or stretchy pants or?
Yeah, I think yoga pants were in there somewhere, but I ain't sure. But anyway, so we got to have a little light. But seriously, I mean, so we got to look at. There's tough times, there's good times. Everybody's got a different approach. Everybody's got a different. That was really cool to see what your response was, because it Russ, we're gonna skip out on your your comment because your house and my house might be the same. We have a whole new stock of all sorts of stuff. But everybody's got a different vantage point. Everybody's got a different stuff, different things that we're dealing with. It did, shipments were down 7% in April, and it has fallen as much as 15% in May from the executive director of the Georgia Ports Authority. So again, shipping is still down. That's surprise, right? But there are definitely some good signs. People are getting back out, doing a variety of different things. Again, I'm convinced, my quote in the piece was basically, if we're not all dead in 2 weeks after the Memorial Day rush to the stores, I think that the coronavirus conversation is pretty much gone. That's just the hardcore response. It may or may not be accurate, but that's the way that I perceive what's going on in the marketplace because of the way that people are responding to wear masks and that sort of thing. So, but we've got a really unique opportunity ahead of us as an industry. I'm convinced that the marketplace where we're at today, the workers are looking to leadership in business to give them guidance. The leadership in business is trying to put the pieces together, especially in the manufacturing. As the manufacturing sector goes in Georgia, I believe the entire economy will go. We have an opportunity to be the shining light in this. And guys, you've heard bits and pieces of this before, but I'm going to share it one more time. I mean, as the economy changes, as the opportunities change, Georgia has the chance, and the manufacturing community has a chance to lead the charge in the rebuilding and the relaunching of Georgia's economy. And as Georgia goes, I am convinced the nation will go. So it's incumbent upon us to make the decisions and take bold action to figure out what we can do individually inside of our own companies to lead and give confidence. We got to make sure that we're leading safely and we're providing the tools that our employees need to be safe and come back to work safe, and go back out and get back out there, guys, and start making purchases. And if you've got inventory coming in or inventory that was on hold, if you can get it released and start cutting checks, because if you want people to pay you, you need to be making sure that you're paying your vendors, right? And you need to re-engage those conversations. So today is a little bit different. I knew that, because of the things that we've got going on in the country, it's again, really distracting and easy to get off track, but we got to figure out ways that we can stay on track and again, continue to support each other. It is a wide mix of conversations that I've been having through all different parts of business. I did have a couple guests that we were hoping to have on the call today, but other obligations required them to be refocused in a couple different areas. So, I asked for grace in that space, but I do want to give you an update on some of the things that we're doing, again, as the organization to help support. We're working on getting back to our normal schedule. So I'm thrilled to announce that on Tuesday at 11:30, we're going to be having a networking call. Basically, it's a group in Alpharetta that regularly attends the Alpharetta networking group. We've invited everybody to come back on Tuesday, 11:30. So we've got that lined up. Then on Thursday, we're going to have the retooling task force call. That was a killer call last week. If you have not plugged into that, that's one you want to repeat. Yeah, Cookie, what you got?
At a different time, right?
Yes, we are moving that. Thank you. Due to Koki's recommendation, Koki has been really great about digging in and talking to other leaders throughout the call. So if you happen to get a call from Koki, make sure you take that call, because she'll be sharing information about not only what she's doing, but also getting insights from you about how we can be improving these calls. And one of the pieces of feedback that we've gotten pretty consistently, and Koki brought this back up again, is we're going to shift that retooling call to 3:00 on Thursday afternoon, because a lot of people have tons of calls in the morning, so it's tough. So we're going to do 10:00 on Monday, Thursday at 3:00. The networking calls are going to be when the normal monthly networking events are, but we're only going to do those, those regional calls in the area. Our hope is that we're going live on networking in July. So July 7th and 10th, we'll be doing 7th. We'll be doing one hopefully in the Alpharetta area, and on the 10th we'll be doing one live in Gwinnett and one live in Cobb. That is if the facilities are open and we all got green lights and nothing weird changes. So that's the game plan, is that will be live. Our first live event for GMA is going to be at our office in Lawrenceville this Friday. If you guys are interested in coming out, Brian came out and hung out with us, gave us a really good idea to him and Justin about kicking this thing back off. We had a blast on Fun Friday, and we're going to be doing similar, but we're limiting the party to 20 people. So the first 20 people that register for this call, if you have not registered, I would encourage you to register today if you want to come hang out with us live. And that is that's going to be, again, at our office at 4:00, 4 to 5. We're going to probably do some like Chick-fil-A nuggets or something. It'll be a little light, but it'll be a social time. Mask will not be provided. If you choose to wear one, feel free to bring one in and wear one. It's a kind of a mask-free, not a non-mask required zone. I'll put it like that. So if you're comfortable in that space and you want to come hang out with us and do it live, come on, hang out with us. And so that's what's happening on Friday. But we want to, again, we want to make sure that we continue to provide whatever creative resources we can as we get this kickback off. We do have a live plant tour scheduled June the 6th of deny signs. I think we just have a couple spots left on that. And then our July schedule is cranking back up, and we're pretty stoked about getting July open back up for you guys. If you have a facility and you are open to it, I've talked to several folks on the call that are interested in hosting a live tour. We're going to do that as soon as everybody gets a green light for that space. After seeing the scores and scores of people that were ignoring any kind of social distancing over the weekend, if within the next 2 to 3 weeks there's not a massive increase of documented cases and hospitalizations, I believe that the coronavirus pandemic conversation will continue to take a back seat and maybe even kind of fade off into the sunset. That is again, have no hard data to back that up, but that's just Jason's observations. So with that being said, what I'd love to do is I want to open the call up and kind of get a little bit of feedback on what we've talked about, and what you guys are seeing in the marketplace. And Russ, you guys have been such great supporters of GMA and giving us insights and provided resources for our leaders on some of these calls. With Taylor English, I know hopefully you're doing like tons and tons and tons of patent stuff or not, but whatever you're doing, share with us about what you're seeing, kind of in your space. And then also, as an organization, Taylor English as a whole. And for those of you that there are a few folks on the call might not know you, so introduce who you are, your name, company, and what your role is.
Okay, great. My name is Russ Dunlap. I'm an attorney, a partner at Taylor English Duma law firm in sort of the Cobb Marietta area, right down the street from the Braves Stadium. So crossing our fingers that sometime this year we get some Braves baseball back. My practice is mostly patents and intellectual property, and fortunately I've stayed pretty busy somehow throughout all of this. We've all been working from home, but all my clients have still been working. I've had a few clients that have come to me with ideas, new clients come to me with ideas for different virus-related matters. I've done a couple of applications for new ideas for masks, for example. Okay. So there's still some people coming up with ideas that are related to the coronavirus, and then a lot of my clients are still innovating, still trying to come up with new ideas for when the market picks back up. So actually today is the day that our office opens back up, and we are not required to go back into the office. A lot of us, like myself, are staying at home. We've still got kids at home, but we are, if we want to, permitted to go into the office. There's a lot of social distancing measures and requirements that we're having to observe if we do come into the office. But we are starting to get things on the path back to normal. I've also got one of my colleagues on the call as well, Bruce Siegel. So Bruce, if you have anything else you want to talk about as well, you're more than welcome to chime in. In terms of the firm, we've got we're providing masks to our to everybody that doesn't have one. You're encouraged to wear them if you're walking through the hallways, and basically otherwise told to kind of, if you come into the office, please just kind of hang out in your office. Don't we're not gonna have any parties in the hallways. No
breathing on folks.
Right? Yeah.
Okay.
I'm trying to think of what else we've been seeing in the market. I mean, in terms of my business, like I said, things haven't changed too much. Two of our big clients are Mueller Water Products, who's they're in infrastructure and water products, water meters and fire hydrants. Their business really hasn't changed because that stuff doesn't stop being needed.
Right.
Same with another big client of ours, Pratt Industries. They manufacture boxes and cardboard boxes and packaging like that. And considering all the increase in deliveries that's been going on the last few months, their business hasn't changed much either. So
I figured they'd be killing it. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Cool.
yeah, I don't know what else. I haven't.
Nice.
I haven't been involved too much in coronavirus response, but Mitzi Hill, one of our partners, has been on that pretty well and keeping us updated. But I don't have any exact knowledge or advice to give in that arena, really.
Well, one of the things that we talked about, Taylor English is one of our big corporate sponsors, and we appreciate your support in that area as well. But we have got a legal series that we had laid out for the year. Some topics that we're going to come in and actually going to host legal insight sessions, educational sessions at Taylor English. So that kind of got put on hold for a little bit. And I'm looking forward to the day that we can open that back up, because I know that you guys, what you've shared so far has been just unbelievably beneficial to our team. So cool. Thanks, Russ. I appreciate that. And Bruce, you
Jason,
got something to share?
I was just going to chime in. I don't want to make this too legal after us, but we appreciate your support as well, Jason. And it's always nice to hear your reassuring voice. I work with Russ in the intellectual property section, but I focus on trademarks, brand protection, licensing agreements, anything related to the health and well-being of brands, whether they be sports related, which is where I came from in the collegiate and sports industry, but corporate as well. And I think that through through the pandemic and through all these issues, protecting the underlying trademarks remains very important always. And so we see a lot of clients continuing to take steps to register or protect their marks, and to pay attention to various scams and things that go on related to fraudulent requests by different persons, trying to convince someone that they need to take some action with the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office, and it turns out to just be a complete scam. And so we're paying attention to those issues, and again, are glad to be here and appreciate the opportunity. And looking forward to getting back in the office as well. I'm not there today, but as we slowly begin to phase in, being back in the office, I think it's going to be nice to actually see humans again.
Yes. And they're not all this big. Thanks, Bruce. JT Taylor, brother, what's going on? Tell us what's shaking in your world, man. Introduce yourself and tell us give us some insights from your vantage point.
Hey, Jason, appreciate that. I'm JT Taylor. I work for Adhesive and Equipment. We sell glue and glue systems, all those good kind of things. And Jason, things have kind of opened up, starting to make some calls on customers actually inside their facilities. Of course, you got to wear the mask and sign the paperwork, but things are starting to roll on our end.
Man, that's what I love to hear.
Opening up not only for us here in Georgia, but also South Carolina and Tennessee too. So starting to make appointments, put some visits on the schedule, and things open up. And from the auto industry up north, where a lot of our business is out of Michigan, the three big manufacturers up there are actually starting to roll product off the line too, which is great for our company and I think great for our economy as well.
Yes, that's for the nation. Thank you. Yeah, that you spot on there for sure. I appreciate that. Good stuff. All right, Mr. Lamers, tell us what's going on in your space, brother.
And guys, we had a soft opening starting today.
And tell us who you are again.
Jason with Grenzebach Corporation. We manufacture material handling equipment, also offer contract manufacturing services for sheet metal, machine parts, industrial, mechanical assemblies, whatever you need made, we can do it. I wanted to let everybody know we actually did have a soft opening starting today. Engineering is back in the office.
Nice.
Management is working on their soft opening. We are screening everybody, doing health checks and giving everyone masks. If you are not in your own personal office, you are wearing a mask when you are out walking on the office floor.
Okay, so that's the kind of the framework around it. If you're sitting at your desk, you're cool, but outside of that, you're going to wear one anytime, especially going out on the floor.
Yes.
Okay, that's a great approach. I like it. Sweet. Miss LD, what's happening in your world, girl?
Hey, Jason. Thanks for having us again. I appreciate all these meetings. In our world, I'm with Fast Signs out of Snellville. We are doing a ton of COVID guideline signage, from curbside pickups. We're still doing a lot of those. A lot of parking signs that are directing people. Let's see what else. HOAs were going nuts last week with a bunch of new pool guidelines. So you can tell by the types of signage we're doing sort of what industries are opening back up and getting out there, just sort of what's coming through here. So that's been a big portion of what we've seen over the past couple weeks. But we also, there's still businesses opening. Mm-hmm. We have, we're working with a couple companies that have taken this opportunity to rebrand, right. Which has been, great time to do it. If they have the funds to do it, that with nobody in there, just able to get all that taken care of. So that's what's been going on here in our world. A lot of COVID signage.
I gotcha. And I think there will be that for a little bit. You think?
Oh yeah, it's still coming. I'm sitting here looking at my emails with a bunch of estimates for that. And shout out to Mr. Carver down there. He's on that side of the screen for me. We did some COVID signage for him for his sports facility.
Sweet. So, and I went back through and reviewed the link that you provided last week for the direct. Catalog of all the stuff that's out there. If you hadn't seen that, guys, it's on the last. I think the last Monday, and I know for sure on the last Thursday. Yeah.
On Thursday, I'll share it again.
Yeah. Just throw that in the chat thing. But that's a good idea. Good pointers that were in there. Some stuff I hadn't thought about as well. But it's cool.
And it'll apply to some industries and not for others. It depends. Like for Jason, for them to be able to, really modify, where they're wearing their mask. And if you don't have a lot of retail, customers come in, and it's sort of easier to get by with it not having signage. But then when you're having a lot of more people in, and it's a different set of rules, it seems like those are the retail area, or like I said, the HOAs and stuff like that, where you're having gatherings is where you're seeing it. So yeah. Right.
And a good picture replaces 1,000 words. I need 2 pictures mostly because I talk a lot, but or 2 or 10 or whatever that is.
Right.
Just lots of them. Sweet. Thank you so much, LB.
Awesome. Thanks, Jason.
All right, Roger Grabman, brother, tell us what's going on in your space.
Well, I saw something rather interesting this morning, a post that savings rates have jumped.
Really?
33% jump in savings rates, but it's still what I would consider a pretty low savings rate.
Mm-hmm.
Also saw something on an alphabet of the different anticipated recoveries.
Okay.
I can share that if you want me to share the screen.
I don't know. That might get a little sketchy on this one. I got a couple other pieces I'm about to roll up. So, but yeah, tell us what you're seeing out there. Are you able to get into? You said you're getting into seeing some manufacturers, right?
Well, I haven't been cold calling in person on manufacturers, but right. I've had a couple of invites for projects, specific projects. Scott Sherwin and I have been working together on coming up with some advice for a manufacturer, what they ought to do with their control system.
Okay. Huh.
As he's describing it, they want to do something that's not a very good idea.
Yeah.
And then Joe Paolini and I had a conversation this morning about I have some contacts in used equipment for bottling.
Okay. Sweet.
So, but the alphabet on recoveries is like there's a V-shaped recovery, a U-shape, a Swiss shape, a Z shape, a W shape, and an L shape. And the Wall Street Journal recently produced a graphic of these.
Okay.
What they would look like.
Mm-hmm.
So
cool. Yeah, put a link to that. If you got a link to it, drop a link in the thing, and we'll include that in the recap. Thanks a bunch, Roger, for sure. All right, Mr. Rob Cooler from Mayor. Tell us a little bit, if you would introduce yourself, tell us who you are, what role you play, what company you're with, and what are you seeing on the recovery here?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh,
sounds good.
Our company is Meyer America. We manufacture rotary unions. It's a German specialty for many different industries. We have a repair center here, and we're part of the critical essential infrastructure workforce according to CISA and the Department of Homeland Security. So we've never really stopped fully, but we do have people working from home. Okay. We supply companies like Coca-Cola, Pepsi, Nestle, Amcor, companies that have to keep their bottles of water, being made and so on and so forth. Also Clorox and Procter & Gamble and so on. So we have a small piece, but that can shut the whole machine down if it doesn't work right. So that's why we have the repair center is critical. We follow all the CDC guidelines. I leave it up to the staff here if they want to wear a mask or not.
Okay.
Nobody here has gotten sick with the COVID-19. We did have some family members that have came down with it. Most of them have recovered. One older aunt of one of our employees passed away from the COVID-19. She was 78 in a home, in a elderly home.
Okay.
And so this is real on one hand. On the other hand, we have found that those who do have it, it's very asymptomatic, meaning that it doesn't really cause issues. We do temperature scans here from time to time. We've never practiced working from home, so that's something new that we did here, and it's working quite well.
Really? So you think that'll extend beyond the release?
Yes.
Okay.
People have asked for it, so I'll probably do 1 or 2 days a week. We'll have to see. I haven't made a complete decision on that yet.
Right.
And so we're looking forward to opening up. Our business has taken a hit somewhat, not as bad as I thought it would be, but a lot of our customers have taken a hit. We have a delayed response, so I suspect that we'll be hit probably in a 3-month cycle. I used to work for Grenzbach, Jason, so I'm familiar with your company very, very well. I was one of the sales managers there. Before I took this job, that was about five years ago. So I'm very, very familiar with Grenzbach and the German side of things. So we'll have to hook up sometime.
Yeah, that's cool.
You and I have a nice picture together from the last summit with.
Yes, we do. Yes, we did.
Soren.
That's cool. That's cool. Well, I had a question for you on that. On the sales marketing side. I mean, do you guys had you have trade shows scheduled that you're not going to do? What's y'all's kind of corporate vision on marketing throughout the end of the year? Have you guys kind of dug through that a little bit?
For My America?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yes, we did have. We did plan to attend and display, but we put those off, just like many of the other things were put off. From a marketing side, we let the product do the speaking primarily, so we don't do a lot on the marketing. We have customers that typically come back to us because of the quality that we have.
Right.
From a prospect point of view, yes, we've been pushing hard on prospecting. It's really hard to get anybody on the phone these days, so we do a lot of direct emailing, and we've been trying different things here to try to get in. So we do a lot of internal analysis and a lot of what we could do to make things better, to get through better. So we've spent the time here looking at the next step of how we convert prospects to customers.
Yeah. Well, and thank you so much for that. And every company's got their different approach on what they're doing. We are, like I said at the kickoff of this thing, I believe that leaders dictate and determine the mentality, the energy that goes behind the company, and then the company impacts the industry and the manufacturing industry. I'm convinced it will lead Georgia's economy into great things. We have a once in a lifetime opportunity to connect with new sales, because many of the other states are still in lockdown, and companies are looking for suppliers like they never have. Our website, What Traffic, is exploded with out of state traffic. People are looking for resources, and they know they can come to Georgia and get them. And so, make sure that you got your profile set up exactly like you want it on the GMA page, because people are tearing that page up. So one is the website, but we're also, IMTS was a big show that was in Chicago that overlapped the summit. They have not canceled it yet, but it looks like that they're likely to, because the governor there, or the governor said that they're not going to open up any large gatherings until there's a vaccine. So sounds to me like this is going to be canceled. And if it is, we're going to be picking up a lot of exhibitors that were scheduled to do their thing out at IMTS out of Chicago. But we're full guns, man. We're guns blazing going into September 15th, hosting it at the Cobb Galleria. We do still have a little bit of exhibit space left. So if you hadn't got a booth, you're interested in getting in a live event in front of the decision makers in the state of Georgia, come on. So we got space is a whole lot cheaper than going to IMTS in Chicago, I'll tell you that. So, but as an option, we're opening that up for the people that this fits in their space. We're not trying to force anything or make anything fit that doesn't, but we're giving folks an opportunity to grow their business through that format. So, and I toured your facility many years ago and very impressed with the accuracy and the precision and the stuff that you guys do, and, in the repair side of it, but also what your products do, and none of us could enjoy the things that we do as consumers without, y'all's products being in line there. So again, appreciate your being on the call today and sharing with us a little bit. Now, this is a dude we hadn't talked to a ton yet on these calls, but I'm thrilled to have Keaton Smith on the line with us, brother. Glad to see you out there hanging out on the outside, getting some fresh air, right? Yeah, Corona-free outside. Open up your mic, and we'd love to have you introduce yourself. Tell us who you are, what you do, and what you're seeing.
Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, man. Perfect.
Okay. So my name is Keaton Smith. I'm the owner of Country Innovation and Supply. We're an industrial distribution and small label manufacturing company out of Winder, Georgia. I also own Help Sticker, which is a specialty label company that serves the elementary school market across the country. So
and he's a heck of a deer hunter too. He won't tell you that, but I will.
Yeah. So what we did here recently is you'll start to see prices coming down especially on like KN95 masks. The market's being flooded.
Oh yeah.
Now with the 3-layer masks, KN95 masks. I mean, a month and a half ago, we were buying those things at $2.50 a piece, and now we're buying them at $1.20 a piece for like very high volumes and stuff like that. So that was like for contracts for the military and things like that. Another thing that we started to produce, and I sent Jason Moss some samples of them, are our pre-saturated hand sanitizer towelettes. That was something that we could control. Was the hand sanitizer. Our manufacturer of hand sanitizer had an FDA approved product. The supply chain was strong on that. So with the shortage of the small bottles, we started to produce our own pre-saturated towelettes. Turner Properties downtown, that's Ted Turner's conglomerate of companies, wound up just buying about 200,000 from us because they said it was actually easier for them to hand out these one-time towelettes to individuals, so that way they could clean their own hands, wipe their phones down, wipe their laptops, mouse, keep their area clean with that towelette than it was to try to actually go and sanitize and clean everything. They still do all that, but they left it up to the individuals because they've got over 20,000
space.
Yeah, they've got about 20,000 employees over that 15 to 20 companies that they own. So that was really cool. I mean, we had the supply chain and that being able to produce that flexible packaging for that. So that's going very well for us. And then, on the sticker side, the help sticker side for the elementary schools are now trying to talk about how are they going to, get masks for kids. Those of you that are in the advertising arena with like promotional supplies and stuff like that, that could be a big area for you guys. I know we're looking at a couple different manufacturers to start producing kids masks for us, just the ear loop ones, the fabric, the washable, because they're going to want them to wear those. But so if anybody's in that arena, you may want to start looking at that. But I think this is a good time for companies to really nail down, who their all-stars are on their team as well, because you got a lot of people working from home. and you're able to see, companies are doing more with less. I think the people that are really shining are really shining through for companies right now, showing that they can actually work from home. They're still getting a lot of stuff done. I think there's going to be a lot of consolidation done with companies. They're going to find out who their key employees are and who their real drivers are. I think that's pretty cool. Having time at home, we've also, on Country Innovation side, we are part of a development type of company. So I may need to speak with Bruce, but we've got prototypes coming in on our baseball hitting training aid that we're working on. So once we get that thing dialed in, we'll be reaching out to Bruce and Russ on seeing about getting that thing patented. So I built one of those things. I played professional baseball over in Europe for a couple of years after college, and I made my own little hitting training aid. And finally, sitting at home, hitting on my own little thing, I'm like, I wonder how many other people can use this. And so we started working on that too. So it's a good opportunity. A lot of people are thriving in this in the economy right now, right. And so I think it's a good opportunity for those two that that are working for companies that wanted to be entrepreneurs and come off with their own stuff. What an awesome opportunity to get done what you need to get done for your employer, and then jump into doing something really huge for yourself and for your family.
Yeah, I think this is a great time. I mean, people using that creativity. I mean, not only for your products, but also, when you can take a deep breath and take a break and let your brain clear. Like 2 weekends ago, you guys heard me tell that story. It really helped me kind of reset stuff, and I'm thankful that I did that then, so that we could be as clear possibly as we are today, as clear as we can say we are. So Keaton, thank you so much. I appreciate your continued engagement in community, and glad to have you on the call with us today. All right, Mr. Brian, tell us what's going on. Again, tell us Diesel Grid. What's shaking in your space, man? What's the vibe that you're getting right now on customer side? Oh, I think you might be through. Oh, there you go. Okay, you're good. All right, Brian. Brian, are you there? Okay.
Well,
okay.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot going on, and I just want to say thank you for. Can you hear me? Okay.
Yep. Perfect. Yep.
Yeah. Am I coming in?
Yep. Yep. Yeah. He got to see the studio here at GMA.
Oh, okay. Okay. Great. Yeah, I was just gonna say thank you again for about having us out there. I mean, you guys were hospitality was great. Tell your son I said hi, and your staff was fantastic. So thanks again for having us. I encourage everyone to take that trip over. You really have a lot of assortments over there for everyone, for all the visitors.
We have a lot of Georgia products in the fridge. I'll put it like that.
A lot of Georgia products in the fridge. So it was a plethora. But yeah, I just want to say thank you again. It was fantastic, and a lot happening in Diesel Grid. We have a brand new API, automated technology coming out that will allow truck drivers and to get to manufacturers and touch certain things. So that's in the works, and that's gonna be fantastic. But we're thriving. We're thriving in this pandemic that's now turned to an epidemic, in the country. Being new to Georgia, it's been kind of disheartening to kind of see what's going on, and not only in Georgia but in the country. But I mean, I think that we're resilient. We're all going to get together and get out of all of this together. And as long as we have conversations like this as a community together, we'll be fine. And so, these kind of platforms are always helpful to get everyone same sheet of music, right?
Yeah.
And so with COVID,
yeah, Brian, you're breaking up really, really bad, dude. I think we lost your video, and your audio is getting about every fifth word.
I have a little tidbit of information for you. So, can you hear me?
Yeah, your audio is breaking up. We'll have to catch back up because your video is gone completely, and I think your audio is just about checking out too. So, but thank you for being here and being engaged in the and being engaged in the community for sure. All right, Ms. Koki, you have done such a fantastic job. I mean, you guys, if you hadn't had a chance to meet her live, make sure you come hang out with us when you can. And Cookie, you've been on a bunch of these calls. Tell us what your thoughts are around the industry, and then what your favorite part about this call was so far. Oh. Audio. Time out.
Okay.
All right. Perfect.
No, the red line I see a lot is people connecting through these calls. And I've started to call some of you guys to start a little spreadsheet that will be online shortly to see who supplies what and what your needs are. And I'm just going to see how I can help people, you know, while making the phone calls. I hear this or I hear that. And I've connected to a couple of you guys already. So I'm really, it's neat to figure out what you guys need and what you're bringing to the table, what your experiences are. And that has come out of these calls more than anything, is the surprise connections. Take LD with, what was it, Jason? The baseball science, sports science?
Ryan Carver.
Ryan Carver, that's it. But also, you know, Joe Pellini with Bobby Dots and Bruce from JS Chemical. Great video, by the way, on YouTube, Jason.
Thanks.
So yeah, there's a lot of connections being made, and I think that's really the strength here, because we have so little opportunity to network trade shows or happy hours or coffee. So getting on these calls and making the connections is huge. And I think it's fair to say that everybody feels okay answering the phone from you guys, because we know each other on these calls. So
cool.
Definitely.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Cookie, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Miss Ashley. Ashley Edwards, are you with us? Can you hear? Hello, Ashley. Are you there, Ashley? There you go. You're good?
Yeah.
All right. Tell us who you are, who you work with, and what was your favorite part about the call?
I'm Ashley Edwards. I'm with Insperity. We do HR outsourcing support. And I really just enjoy hearing the updates from everybody. You know, every work situation is different right now. So just hearing who is getting ready to go back into the office and how business is going, because it does seem like we're finally trending back up. So great to see y'all this morning, and appreciate you letting me be on here.
All right. Appreciate you being here, Ashley, for sure. All right, guys. Well, we are at the 11 o'clock hour, and it has been, again, it's a blessing to be engaged with each and every one of you guys. I'm sorry I wasn't able to get everybody on the call today, but you know, your openness and willingness to participate and share best practices is critical in us going forward with this. Make sure you go online and register for any of the upcoming events that you see that happen to fit in your schedule. They all have a different flavor, and we talk about different things on those calls. But again, as long as we're working together as a community, I'm confident that we will get through anything that we face as an industry and as a nation. But we gotta keep those lines of communication open, be willing to listen to different viewpoints and support each other. You know, we all need grace in this thing, and we need patience, and we will, you know, please, you know, I always try to give people as much leeway and as much slack as I would hope somebody would give me, right? I mean, I think it's been written in a good book a long time ago. You know, they talked a little bit about that. So, you know, we got a great week ahead of us. Let's make it a fantastic week. And I can't wait to hear your success stories later in the week. As these things come out, tell me. I mean, it really does my heart good to hear what's working, what's happening. If you need something, reach out to us. We are here for you. So with that, guys, it has been an hold on a second. Time out. I should have done this earlier, but smile. If you got a camera, turn it on real quick. Smile. Smile, smile. Look this way. Smile. Everybody smile and wave. Smile and wave. 1, 2. Okay, sweet. Been another great day at GMA. We'll see you guys on upcoming events. Take care.
Bye, Jason.
Bye,
Bye, everyone. Thanks.
Thanks.
Thanks, Jason.
See you guys.